Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, hello, my name is Skylar and I am a certified dog trainer and pet nutritionist. Welcome to Fact or Fiction, the show where we take a common fact about our beloved pets and find out if it really is a fact or if it's just merely fiction. Today we're asking the question, does Kibble clean your pet's teeth? Today we're going to be answering that question and using some facts to back up our answers. Now, if you've spent any amount of time on this channel, you probably know that I'm a big advocate of adding to your pet's diet. I'm not a huge fan of a solely dry kibble diet for a number of reasons, and I always recommend adding meat and moisture whenever you can. Whenever I talk about this, I get a ton of questions from you guys in the comments asking, but what about kibble? Doesn't that help clean my pet's teeth? I thought kibble cleans teeth. If I'm feeding an all wet food or all raw food or all cooked food diet, are they going to be missing that important kibble to help scrape the plaque and tartar off? Now, to answer this question, I like to bring it back to maybe think about yourself for a minute. When you go to the dentist and they ask what your dental routine is, how do you keep your teeth clean in between visits? Is your answer eating dry cereal? When your dentist recommends different things to help you keep your teeth clean, do they recommend chewing on hard pretzels or graham crackers in order to keep your teeth clean? That's essentially what we're saying when we say that kibble cleans teeth. It just doesn't make sense when you actually break down what that's saying and what that means. So instead, let's go ahead and dive into the actual reality of, does kibble clean our pet's teeth? In this video, we're going to be covering a bunch of different topics, including the possible correlation between dry kibble diets and dental disease, the anatomy of the jaw and how pets chew, the biologically appropriate way of thinking about carbohydrates, and how to actually clean your pet's teeth. So let's start with kibble and dental disease. Studies have shown that over 80% of dogs by the age of 3 have active dental disease, and that 50 to 90% of cats by the age of 4 have some form of dental disease. On the flip side, studies have shown that over 80% of dogs are fed commercially processed dry kibble diets, and over 82% of cat owners feed commercially dry kibble diets. Now, don't get me wrong, there are absolutely other contributors to dental disease than just kibble. However, based on these statistics, it's hard to deny that feeding a carbohydrate-rich, dry processed kibble diet may be related. Biologically speaking, dogs should really only be getting about 12 to 15% carbohydrate in their diets, whereas cats should be getting about 2 to 5%. For comparison's sake, commercial dry kibble diets typically are made up of about 30 to 70% carbohydrate. Kibble also requires a ton of different binders to help hold all of the ingredients together during the intensive extrusion process. These binders are often ingredients high in sugar, like corn, or high in starch, like corn, wheat, rice, oats, white potato, and peas. This overabundance of sugars and starches actually adds to plaque and tartar buildup. Now that we're aware of the overabundant sugars and starches in dry processed kibble diets that actually add to plaque and tartar buildup, let's address the chewing aspect of the kibble. Now, it's important to understand that both dogs and cats have jaws designed to rip and tear into meat, not grind things like our teeth are. These specialized jaws are designed to have much more vertical movement as opposed to horizontal movement. This helps to aid in biting and tearing as opposed to, making sure that your celery is chewed all the way before you swallow. For example, as I'm talking, you see that my jaw is going up and down pretty well, but I also have all of this horizontal movement in my jaw. Dogs and cats do not have that much movement. As you watch them chew, you'll notice that it's a lot of up and down motion and not a lot of kind of a circular rotating grinding motion like when we usually chew. What little horizontal movement dogs and cats do have in their jaw is intended for gnawing on raw bones and other chews, which actually do help to scrape plaque and tartar. Let's talk about chewing versus crunching for just a second. Dogs and cats primarily swallow their food whole, and they typically only crunch it a few times to break into smaller pieces, so that they're able to scarf it down a little easier. If your pet has ever thrown up shortly after eating, you've probably noticed that the food looks pretty much the same coming back up as it did when you put it in the bowl. This is because, again, dogs and cats' jaws are intended for ripping and tearing tearing meat and swallowing it and then digesting it in the belly, as opposed to having to chew it to almost pre-digest before actually swallowing, like a lot of herbivores or omnivores do. So between the high carbohydrate content and the fact that dogs and cats don't really efficiently chew their food, I think that we can call this fiction. So how can we actually clean our dogs and cats' teeth if Kibble doesn't get the job done? I'm going to be sharing with you 4 steps that you can implement into your pet's dental care routine to help actually remove plaque and tartar and keep their teeth nice and healthy. Number 1, decrease the carbohydrates in their diet. You can add canned food, lightly cooked meat, commercial raw pet food, any way that's super easy for you to add more meat to your pet's diet, the better. It's easier to digest, it's going to be better for their teeth by reducing the amount of sugars and starches in their diet, and it's just overall more biologically appropriate. If you have other questions of ways to incorporate more meat into your diet, you can definitely check out videos in the link above, and I have plenty of other information on my channel that you can check out as well. Number 2, chews. Giving your dogs safe and appropriate chews can help to quite literally physically scrape the plaque and tartar off their teeth. 3, brush their teeth. I totally get that sounds super overwhelming and difficult when you first hear it, and it's definitely something that you need to work up to. But there's ways of getting around that in the meantime. For example, brushless toothpaste. They're enzymatic. All you really have to do is put it along the gum line, wait about 30 minutes before you give them food, treats, water, just so it can kind of set in, do its thing, and then you're good to go. Those enzymes actually do help to break down the plaque and tartar on their teeth and can make it a really easy way of incorporating a more realistic daily toothbrushing routine than getting in there with a toothbrush every day. And last but not least, 4, vet checks. Obviously, there's times where dental disease has progressed so much that we have to pull teeth or have some other dental procedure done to our pets, but they're typically put under for this, and it's very expensive. So obviously when these are necessary, it's something that we gotta do just to keep our pets comfortable, happy, and healthy. But remember, these dental procedures are a last resort, not maintenance, so using the tips previously to help maintain your pet's teeth between vet visits is gonna make it so much easier on your pet, so much easier on your wallet, and we want your pets to have as many teeth as possible when they're old and cranky and tired, because there's no doggy dentures. They need their teeth. So taking care of them now is going to really help with that. Well, I hope this video answered the question of, does Kibble really clean my pet's teeth? If you have any other questions or any other common myths that you would like me to address in an episode of Fact or Fiction, definitely leave those down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.